We should get into the news.
The guy. Can we do the guy first?
No, because you know why? There's a race war coming, and we have to cover it. What do you think?
Whatever. I don't know.
The brewing race war.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen at all.
The media wants it to happen.
They want it to happen because
really
the media wants a race war bad.
Because the police are fucking killing everybody, so they're going to try to make it about race so that everybody doesn't figure out. That's just like how they're going to try to separate us.
The race thing to me is just like a useful distraction from the real issue that we're all being oppressed, by the same by the same source. So, I understand, like we've talked about before, like obviously there's plenty of racism that is real, but the issue of police killing people in the streets isn't a racial one to me. You know what I mean? I mean, it happens all the time. Here's the other thing. The stuff that's going on right now, you got the guy that was choked out in New York, Eric Garner.
That was pretty bad. I seen that.
So you got him and you got the Mike Brown thing in Ferguson. So the stuff that's going on is stuff that's like it's questionable. It's like and these are the big fucking stories, and it's sort of like questionable. Like the guys they killed that guy, choking him, but I don't really think they meant to. Honestly, I think it was a combination of them being over aggressive and him being ready to die at any moment. He's a big fat fuck, and
or they could have just said, "Hey, stop selling cigarettes, asshole."
They did not. Here's but the way it's being portrayed is they kind of can't. I mean, and you got to look at it realistically. I mean, we don't like police, but it was a guy who the shop owners that he would stand out in front and sell loose cigarettes. And the shop owners didn't like it for obvious reasons, and they would call the cops 50 fucking times a week. And the cops don't give a shit about a guy selling cigarettes. They don't fucking care. But if they get enough calls, they're gonna go say, "All right, look, we've had enough of this. You got to go." So that's the situation. Really, I think that was going on there, and they were trying to arrest him. And it's like, okay, there are some. But my point is not that it's right what they did. My point is that there are a million other cases that happened this year where the cops were way more out of line. Way more out of line. But these ones that get major legs in the media are these ones where the cops are, maybe not so out
where it can go either way. So it's like,
so
this is a close call. Let's blow this one up. And then it's a fight forever instead of, dude, you did that.
Instead of actually getting somewhere. Like you notice the Kelly Thomas case didn't get this much fucking attention.
Which one was that?
He was the white homeless guy that got beat to death on camera, but literally beat. Oh, excuse me, beat to death. Not like an accident where he got choked and went into cardiac arrest or whatever happened to that guy. What happened to him?
It was
had
cardiac
an aneurysm or something. Or
Eric Garner. Yeah, a heart attack.
Right. Okay. So now that's a little different. Wrong. Bad. That you shouldn't attack people for selling cigarettes. That's bad. We can all agree. However, it's not as bad as beating a guy with your fists and batons literally to death while he begs for his life. So, I mean, now, how come that doesn't get the legs in the media? And let's not make it a black-white thing. That was a white guy. How about the black guy that supposedly, I forget where it was, maybe Pennsylvania? The black guy, look this up. Black guy that shot himself in the head, supposedly, while handcuffed in the back of a squad car after he'd already been searched and his...
We did that months ago.
Yeah, we covered that months ago. How come that didn't get fucked? I mean, an obvious police assassination, okay? Clearly, just beyond any shadow of a fucking doubt, they're covering something up there. Somebody killed him, they killed him, whatever. They're culpable and they're covering it up. And so...
17-year-old?
Yeah.
He was like a kid?
Yeah. Where was it?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay.
And you're saying why doesn't that get...
Why doesn't that get...
Right.
And that's clear cut where the cops are wrong.
Well, that was a black dude, right,
Why aren't people rioting in the streets about that? Mm-hmm. The media has stimulated these cases where it's more blurry, where they can get the fucking... the war going.
Where it's confusion.
I mean? Where it's confusing, and also where the cops might end up being right, and make the anti-police movement look stupid. So...
Like the one little girl, her family called and said that she was off her meds and she was fucked up and she was acting crazy.
Dude, they do shit.
They just show up and killed her.
Right.
Like, all right, well...
There's so many... I mean, every week we cover 5 or 6 fucking things that are just blatantly inexcusable on video, audio, whatever it is, confessions. There's cops doing crazy shit all over, but it's these blurry cases that get the real fucking traction,
Yeah.
So what does that tell you about the media's intent? is that they want to.
They don't have no idea what they're doing. There's nobody with half a brain in the fucking media anywhere.
I think some of them know what they're doing. I think they do, and I think I know. They know what gets them ahead.
I like when on the Jon Stewart show. I like when he does the news clips from all around the country, and it's the same exact word for word thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
He does that a lot now, and that just tells you right there that they don't know what the fuck's going on. It's the same thing everywhere. Even little jokes and shit like that was supposed to be personal and shit.
Yeah,
that they say them too. So it's like it's weird, man. It's like fucking mind control.
Yeah, definitely.
What's that a picture of?
All right, well, here we go. Nationwide protests condemning police brutality continue with no end in sight. This is from Huffington Post today. Demonstrations continued Saturday night in New York City and across the country as protesters raised their hands and voices to decry abusive police tactics in light of the growing number of unarmed black men who have been killed by police officers. Picketers swarmed New York City's Grand Central Terminal in Times Square 4 nights after a Staten Island grand jury decided not to indict white police officer Daniel Pantaleo for the choking death of Eric Garner, and not quite 2 weeks after a Missouri grand jury refused to indict Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson for the shooting death of Michael Brown. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So this is just a general shit about the protests just going on all over the place. And this has happened in a bunch of cities, right?
Yeah, all over the world.
Chicago,
California protests in Berkeley have turned violent.
Oh, yeah, there's a video of that, I think, right?
Do we have any white on black crime yet, or is it just cop versus protester? I mean,
there's been some weird things that have happened. One of the witnesses in the Michael Brown case turned up dead, right? Wasn't that the guy that was killed in the protest? I think he was a witness.
I didn't hear that he was a witness.
Yeah, I think he was one of the on the scene witnesses, or what was supposed to be, whatever. And
well, you hear about like 15 black kids beating up some white couple or something, but I know white people that would do that too.
That would beat people up?
Yeah, just let's go beat the shit out. I got friends.
The more reports have come like black violence against white businesses in terms of looting and vandalism and stuff like that, but I haven't heard a lot about like person to person.
You want to hear something about looting?
Yes.
I'm not too cool. I'm not a looter, but if I was standing there and everybody else was doing it, you know how hard that is not to be like, yo, let me just grab me a TV real quick or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is pretty hard.
I mean, they're doing it. Like, what?
Why can't I do that?
Well, I mean, it's like, what's it matter?
Yeah.
You know,
somebody's doing it.
And it's right there. I can do it too.
I've definitely looted. It's a thing you can do when you're young with no conscience, you know? Like, I looted. It was a fucking major corporation. I don't give a shit.
What I'm saying is I wouldn't be the first one through the window, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's check out this shitty shit.
Bullets and flares to disperse a protest that took a violent turn last night in Berkeley, California. The protest began with a rally on the University of California, Berkeley campus, calling for accountability for excessive police force, pointing in particular to the deaths of Michael Brown and Eric Garner. From there, about 400 protesters filled the streets, eventually ending up at the Berkeley Police headquarters. And
by the way, I always hate these fucking protest trends. These fucking like faggy.
Hold your hands up.
Oh, don't shoot! My hands are up. How about put your hands around a rifle and fire back if you want to fucking be out there? Why are you out? See, that's why I stopped protesting a lot after the fucking NATO thing in Chicago, because we're not showing up with weapons and gear like they are. Why are we showing up?
That's true.
What the fuck is the point? You know, let's call me when we're ready to roll. You know, like I don't understand this. Like, let's just keep showing for years and years how how evil they are, and we're just being peaceful. And look how they attacked us. Like, well, you're kind of a chump for standing there and getting attacked.
Right.
Like,
I've seen some clips in Arizona of some protesters. Who cares what the protest was about? But the Arizona militia was there in between the protesters and the cops with full, like, huge fucking guns. Yeah. And the cops were like, they were just in circles, just kind of hanging out, talking to each other. Like, they were docile, you know what I mean? They were like, well, we can't beat anybody up today. Let's just kind of hang out.
All right, let's see what else this guy's saying.
That's when the protest intended by organizers to be peaceful took a turn. A small group of protesters began vandalizing.
Like, there's something just getting so irritating about that. Intended to be peaceful. Like, well, good for fucking you idiots. Why are you being peaceful? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know, and I don't like looting either, but it's like, why are you showing up where you know this is gonna fucking happen and standing there? Like, I don't understand.
You know nothing's gonna be resolved by it. So like, why don't you get turn that protest into a posse and go citizens arrest somebody.
Or stop
You know what I'm
wasting
saying?
stop wasting your time out in the streets and get like really organized and do some real fucking work behind the scenes. You know,
I think the arrest thing would work because I'll tell you why. So then if the cops try to intervene, you can violently attack them and say you're interfering with our investigation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just fucking kill them, and then we'll get away with it too, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. I want to start arresting people, beheading.
I know.
I want to see motherfuckers get beheaded. I want to see people get.
I would like to see. I would like to see one. I don't know where you're going with that, but I was thinking I would like to see.
Cop kill
you know, all
cops
these-
that killed.
a common thing that pull us back a little bit. A common thing that that people say in regards to this like Eric Garner thing is like, well, you know, he should have just complied and none of this would happen. Like, I'd like to we should make a video of like people saying that online, and then we'll find him in real life, and me and you will like run up to him at the bar and just grab him in a headlock and throw him down on the ground and just like beat him until they comply and be like, dude, you should have fucking complied. Like,
Stop not complying.
We didn't like what you were doing, so we came up to get you.
So
and you didn't fucking comply. You know, that kind of attitude is so fucking disgusting and subservient, but I've seen so many people say it. Well, you know, just let them throw you down on the ground for something that didn't hurt anyone. All right.
No,
but
that's what you get for resisting
now
arrest.
again, he was doing something that he was being a pest. I will agree. Like the guy was being a little bit of a pest on that block.
Well,
you know
and
what I mean?
also
Like,
the police go there and tell him to not do that all the time.
Right.
It's not his first
it
encounter
wasn't
with
like
them.
they just rolled up and then just started beating
him,
on
yeah.
him. I mean, and again, see, that's why these cases they're not the ones that break my heart, that get the major fucking attention in the media. What you know, the cases that are really heartbreaking, we've played video on here that literally almost made me cry. That girl crying when they shoot her boyfriend because they have a party that gets a little too loud.
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
That was horrible. I remember that.
Yeah,
Really
they try to
bad.
drag him off the porch and he doesn't want to go, and they end up shooting him to death or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that shit should be causing riots. That shit should be really causing revolution. But, you know, instead it's these murky cases, you know.
I bet if the girlfriend didn't shut up in that case and ran up to him, because they would have shot her too. Because they were like,
Yeah.
you stay there. Not only did I just kill your loved one, but you can't go over there.
Here, let's check out the rest of this Berkeley shit.
In cars, and as two Radio Shack employees recounted to ABC affiliate KGO, smashing store windows.
Next thing you know, that window breaks, that window starts breaking, these two windows break. A guy with a crowbar comes in and starts stealing stuff.
And police say they were forced to use
Why? What is the looting? Why? God, you fucking pussies. You want to be bad? Go fight the fucking cops. But get some gear and some weapons. You know what I mean? What the fuck is this? You want to be bad and get in the streets? Fucking do it already. They've done it in other countries.
You can get your hands on a bazooka.
Yeah, dude. I mean, see, if you're really ready to get out there and do it, then I don't see what you're fucking around with Radio Shack for, you know?
smoke and tear gas to disperse the crowd, though many people, including the peaceful protesters and the large number of concert goers who found themselves in the area, say it was an unnecessary measure.
What concert was it?
Wait a minute.
Do we know that? We'll find that out.
This is where the black dude selling Lucy's got popped, right?
No,
Or killed?
this is California.
Completely different.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's protests all over the country.
okay.
It's related to that.
Oh,
same
okay,
shit,
cool.
you know.
Berkeley protest is one of many that have been held around the country since grand juries elected not to indict police officers who killed unarmed black men. Protests have spread as far as New York, Miami, Washington, D.C., and St. Louis.
Hey, was anybody indicted in the Kelly Thomas case?
No.
No, right? They were
No.
just they actually resigned out of fear because they couldn't be fucking safe on the job anymore because they knew people were hunting for their heads because they got away with murder, right?
Yeah,
What
literally got away with murder.
What color was Kelly Thomas? I can't remember.
White.
Oh, so it's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's
Well,
okay, yeah.
Kill white guys.
One thing I want to say about that black guy, it's kind of unrelated, but you go down to the liquor store and you sell Lucy's out front for you could stand there all day. What are you going to make, $4?
I know.
You know what I'm
What
saying?
a
Like,
retarded thing
what are you
to be doing.
doing?
Yeah, I know.
They don't want you in there. The cops always show up. You're going to make $4. What are you?
I know. And like it didn't say anything about him also having like pills on him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that I would understand, you know. But all right, well, the rest of this motherfucker.
And it was the third straight night of protests in the Bay Area. On Friday, protesters in Oakland targeted a tree lighting event and even briefly shut down traffic on Interstate 880. At least 6 people were arrested Saturday night in Berkeley, and 2 Berkeley police officers were injured in the skirmishes.
Okay. Just looking at protesting is the most foolish thing you can do. You're walking around with a sign, right? What are you expecting? The police to be like, oh, you're right. We're going to do whatever you want now. Oh, the government's going to just open the window and say, oh, you guys are totally right.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they're going to walk up. Like, I never thought of that in rhyme before.
Did I say it in rhyme?
No, but protesters did.
Oh.
Probably.
Okay.
Good job.
And I mean, they can't expect like a cab driver to be, driving by, honk his horn, and then go kill the person they hate. Like, it's pointless.
Protesting, yeah. It's almost like guys that try to hit on women by like honking the horn at them, you know? It's like going to have the same
that
effect.
ever gonna work?
Yeah, like what do you think that's going to do?
Wait, stop. Let me suck your dick.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
Like people are just going to walk by with their signs like,
Oh, yeah.
Not that you're just annoying the shit out of everyone. Which, like, dude, I've had a lot of fun at some protests, and some of them are really cool. And you can meet a lot of cool people, and a lot of good conversation goes on there. And and you will affect some passerbys will stop and think about things they wouldn't have thought about. But if you're talking about like responding to like police violence, you have to either go fucking nuts or just do it some other way, because like these people looting the Radio Shack is going to get us nowhere at this point. And it's it's just they're just having fun, I guess.
I guess if you're mad at the insurance companies, you can show up downtown and break all the windows and make them pay a bunch of money to their customers.
Yeah,
but I mean,
see why is this not 10 million fucking people at these protests, and they always show it's like what is it, like 100 to 1 usually protesters to cops. Why is there not just a giant fucking mob surrounding the cops and just stomping them to death? I don't understand.
Because then they'd start shooting people in the head and they'd be justified.
Yeah, well,
it's like, who's going to go first?
Yeah, I guess it's true. I don't know, dude. I'm just sick of the looting, and it just gives such an easy argument to like pro government people. Oh look, well this is what happens when there's anarchy and fucking the anti-police movement, and then that's how we're represented in the media.
Okay, so everybody's mad at the cops. What would happen, you think, if you like took over, sieged the police station? Would they call other police stations?
The military?
Would they call military's barred?
At what point does it get to be like, hey, the people have spoken here?
Yeah, and plus they're in the building with all our weapons.
We're supposed to have. We're supposed to see, like, you take over your own police station. Then does the military go, hey, we also represent you, and you can't do that. We'll kill you all. If you don't give back your corrupt police force its fucking weapons. I mean, like, yeah, how far does it go?
So the military would probably come in.
Now, the military is splintered. Obviously, some people in the military are awake, some people aren't, So some people that are in the military that's where they'd draw the line, and they would say, all right, I'm taking my family down to the bunker in Texas, and shit's going down, But that's the big question, is how many of them would turn on us at that point. Because is that what happens in the revolution? I don't think we need to take over the police stations. I think the police all just run away in a real revolution.
I heard in the revolution.
Don't they just the police just don't show up to work? They take their own families and do their own thing in total chaos. That's what we've seen in hurricanes and things of that nature. Yeah. That's what always happens. They're gone. I mean, and at that point, yeah, of course
they probably get the jump on people too. They're like, I'm not reporting this. Let's get my family. Drive their squad car right home, get their family, and roll
3
out.
Zombie attacks in the past 45 minutes. Let's fucking
get
roll.
For sure.
Out of here.
Yeah. Cops. Fuck cops.
Well,
cops too.
But that's yeah. They're so I guess I don't know Mexicans are taking over police stations. Maybe that is where it starts.
Yeah, I mean. Well, in the Revolutionary War, I heard that some guy just went to all the bars and was like, you guys ready to kill some people? And everybody was like, yeah, fuck yeah. That's how it went down.
I've had that fantasy so many times of being in one of these little crowds that's watching somebody get, like, brutalized by 2 or 3 cops, and just, like, I imagine just running around to, like, every able-bodied man, like, are you ready? Like, if we get enough guys, will you do it? Will you do it?
Wait, you've done that? Or you fantasize that?
No, I fantasize about it. And we get, like, as soon as we get, like, 6 of us, just stomp, done, run away.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you, smash the cameras. You, go over there, grab that chair.
Just, like, if enough of us just make eye contact, like, and just decide like, all right, this fucking going down. Let's like, because cops are just people. How many times have you seen cops taking down like somebody brutally in the middle of a crowd, and anybody could just knock them out with a punch to the fucking temple, you know? And they're exposed. Their hands are down on the ground. Their head is up. They're not looking. You know, you could just run up behind them and just fucking smack him in the head with the heaviest thing you have. They're done. Why is that not happening?
I think because if you hit a cop, punch him, smack him, like 15 years in jail or something like that. That's why.
Well, yeah.
So if it's like, if you punch him, you better knock that motherfucker out.
You got to commit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you got to fucking throw your back into it.
Yeah. No, I've thought about that too.
Dude, that goalie, that reminds me of the goalie video.
Out sometimes too. It's fucking
it is.
Yeah.
Especially in my dreams, I could punch somebody a million times. They never knock out. Anyway.
Yeah, it's because in your dreams you punch like you're underwater.
Yeah,
and you just can't get it going hard enough.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Speed.
Karate chops work better in dreams.
Oh, what? I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
Think of that.
Try that next time.
No, just give yourself superpowers.
No.
A lot of the times when I try to
lightning.
run, I can't get any
doesn't work.
traction, and I float, and I can't stick to the
I know.
ground.
You gotta
Fucking hate
you gotta
it.
get going first.
Yeah,
It's
right.
hard.
Then lean forward. Right.
Right.
Yeah, you
You know,
can forward. That's the trick.
what a weird phenomenon, man.
Sometimes you have to use your hands too. You know? You like start the crawl and like get some speed up, and then once you get going, you can fucking run. You know.
No, but back to this stuff. That goalie video. This reminds me of that. The goalie that fucking. It was at a soccer game and somebody ran out of the field. The cop
and it
fucking,
happened. And
yeah, it
the
happened.
fans fucking beat the shit out of the cops.
Yeah, but then
yeah.
he starts punching him in the face. The goalie just runs and drop kicks the cop, and then the fans are just like, well, time to kill that cop.
Yeah,
they
it
went
takes a leader.
running.
It takes a leader.
It takes a leader, but not only that, the cops were outnumbered by like 60,000. So that's different. Like
It is
3
a
to
little
60,000 is
different.
different than like
3 to
40 to
10.
30%. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess if everybody knows they'll be safe, they'll do it. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Because that's why I won't do it. Safety.
Yeah.
What else we got in the race war? Police call for St. Louis Rams players to be disciplined for making hands up gesture. You guys saw this shit, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the don't shoot, right?
Don't shoot me. I'm just a black boy.
Yeah, I honestly don't understand like why they should be disciplined.
Here's the thing.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't understand.
How could they say that officially?
I don't understand why these like millionaire dudes
This is NFL?
came out and did this in the first place. Like it's gonna be so fucking impressive, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
I know,
because they
like,
want people to like them and
Yeah.
it's trendy.
I'll tell you why they can be disciplined, because of the contract, breach of contract, you know?
why they're not. supposed
When
to
you're
have
in a
any, like,
uniform, you're acting on behalf of the NFL, and the NFL, you have to, you know what I
and
mean?
you can't have any like controversial views.
You can't have,
Yeah,
you know what I
they
mean? You
probably
can't.
have terms of public
Well,
image.
Yeah, like we'll suffer
Yeah.
losses if you say this. Or
You know what?
You are
you're right, because these guys could probably be sued for like
for losses.
For where, well,
If
and
one
we're-
of their sponsors has a relationship with the police department that was then damaged by their actions.
No, it's just if any of the fucking sponsors have like conservative ownership.
Yeah, back
you know
to
how
the-
those fucking people are, dude.
Yeah.
At major levels, like the left and right, when major corporations get involved in that, it's fucking ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
This is some more law society stuff we're talking about. It all comes back to that, man.
yeah. So if there's a corporation that's like, conservative, then that means they have to hate black people in this situation for some reason, and they'll be real mad about this, and they'll put some kind of pressure on, if they're an advertiser, whatever.
But
Hey,
it
we're
is
not gonna-
true.
What?
Like, if you say something that a bunch of Southern Christian folk don't like, you're gonna lose $1 million, man. You know what I mean? You're gonna lose.
Yeah, and that's St. Louis.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
There's a lot of racist white people around St. Louis
Yeah.
and South, and that there's not a lot of major football teams in that for a fucking 1,000 miles around, are there either? So there's like, for between St. Louis and what else is there? Like Cincinnati might be the closest thing or something.
Mm.
So there's got to be a couple fucking million people that watch the Rams.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, a lot of them white. A lot of them not gonna like that. Not gonna like the old don't shoot. The St. Louis Rams. But then so really it's not, so we're talking about the NFL and like what their position could be, but really the police were the ones that call for the St. Louis Rams players to be disciplined.
Yeah, and
this is just
all they did was-
okay.
hold on,
whiny.
It was
What?
like 6 guys who threatened to boycott NFL advertisers, which they wouldn't do because they're still going to eat shit food and drink beer.
Yeah. Dumb motherfucking pig.
One of the players even said that their anger about Michael Brown helped them play better and helped them get the 52-0 win on that game when they brought their hands out. They said it added fuel to their fire and it made them better players.
So the police want them to get in trouble for having their body positioned in a certain fucking way and getting somebody taking a picture of them.
So let's see.
Right?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I want to see what they're fucking saying about this. Let's see. What do you got? Do you have the story like what the cops said about this? I remind. Let's see. Calling for the Rams and NFL to apologize publicly. Rorda, who's this motherfucker? The police union's business manager said in his statement that he understood the players would be defended as merely exercising their right to free speech. However, he added, "Cops have First Amendment rights too, and we plan to exercise ours." What does that mean? I mean, you can say whatever you want, but like, I'd remind the NFL and their players that this is not the violent thugs burning down buildings that buy their advertisers' products. He said, it's cops and the good people of St. Louis and other NFL towns that do.
So he's saying that none of the
rioters don't fucking make you any money. So don't
they
stand
couldn't
with
possibly
them.
watch sports or purchase anything ever,
right?
Because they looted something,
right? No, they don't buy things.
No.
So a Missouri police union has condemned players from the St. Louis Rams football team for making hands-up gestures on the field. And so it's the St. Louis Police Officers Association, to be specific. Yep, there you go. I'd remind the NFL and their players, blah, blah, blah. And then he reiterated his position in a post. His wrists were shown wrapped in tape with Mike Brown and My Kids Matter written on them. This is the fucking Brit. Who's Brit? God damn it, I skipped too much of this fucking article. Is he one of the players?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's one of the players. And then so he's like, so the players are coming back and saying like, fuck you, we're going to do whatever we want. Whatever. Stupid football shit.
Okay.
This is the closest we come to covering football, though. For our one fan that wants us to talk about the NFL. There you go. We talked about the NFL.
Okay.
And then I guess in the NBA, some dude played with R.I.P. Mike Brown written on one of his shoes during the team's 97-85 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. It's a delay. You know that.
Oh, I know that. Been a while. So Plant Stamp says, weren't the Gestapo called because Eric broke up a fight, not because of loose cigarettes?
What was it? Because that was the original story, I remember. But then lately, I've been hearing everybody talk about the fucking loose cigarette thing. That might have just been misreported at first. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the loose cigarette thing was their official charge that they went with.
Oh, that's just what they came up with. Maybe they. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that was why I think they were interacting.
They have
with
to
him
come up with
specific.
a charge after they kill him.
Right.
That's important.
You know what we didn't talk about, though, was the fact that they left him lying there for 6 minutes and didn't bother to try to get him any attention. And they did a bunch of shady shit.
They were smiling at the camera and shit.
Yeah, the one who had the chokehold, real sarcastically smiled and waved at the camera while the guy was still filming it. Yeah. And they did something weird with his body to make it look to witnesses like maybe he wasn't dead. Even though they knew he was.
You know what that reminds me? Wasn't the cameraman the guy who, what was he, taking it on his phone?
Ramsey Orta, yeah.
Let's get to this. A grand jury did indict one person involved in Eric Garner's killing, the man who filmed it. On Wednesday, a Staten Island grand jury decided not to return an indictment for the police officer. We know this. In August, less than a month after filming the fatal July 17th encounter in which Daniel Pantaleo and other NYPD officers confronted Garner for allegedly selling untaxed cigarettes, a grand jury indicted Orta on weapons charges. Orta is the guy who filmed the fucking thing. On weapons charges stemming from an arrest by undercover officers earlier that month. Police alleged that Orta had slipped a .25 caliber handgun into a teenage accomplice's waistband outside a New York hotel. Orta testified that the charges were falsely mounted by police in retaliation for his role in documenting Garner's death, but the grand jury rejected his contention, charging him with single felony counts of third-degree criminal weapons possession and criminal firearm possession. I definitely wouldn't put it past the fucking cops to do something like that. I mean, there's been plenty of cases where, from big to fucking small rural police departments, they will bully people that stand up to them. You know, they do act like a mafia.
Yeah, that's all they do actually anymore. They don't do anything ever.
What do you have? A lot of people.
Good, you know what I mean?
A lot of people online think that he was probably set up too. Is anything coming out suspicious on this yet?
Yeah, lots of things.
What do we got?
Well, first of all, I think you have this too. There's an interview with Orta where he says that he felt like the entire grand jury system was rigged, including his part in Eric Garner's decision, as well as in his own case. But, I mean, there is basically no evidence whatsoever that, besides the cops saying that he had these things, that says that he actually had anything illegal or deserved to be indicted of any crime whatsoever. And the timing is pretty obvious, too.
Right.
You know, it didn't...
And he doesn't have like a criminal history of that kind of shit or anything?
No. Here, hold on, let me pull it up. He has, hold on.
Yeah.
So what did... Okay, I'm lost here with this story. What the fuck did this guy... They killed this guy? Or this guy just...
No, this is the guy that filmed the Eric Garner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
incident.
and he was indicted on weapons charges.
Because of this? Or before?
No,
No,
after
after
this.
this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking point.
Yeah, but not like, it's not like he was standing there filming it and then they found illegal weapons on him there. It came later.
Mm-hmm, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're saying a lot of people are thinking they set him up. Which seems like if they didn't set him up, they were definitely following him around trying to get him on something after this fucking happened, you know.
That's like the JFK witnesses going fucking dead weeks after.
Yeah.
Like, that guy took a video. But he got the video out, so... Either way, he fucking won.
Think that would protect you, but no.
Yeah, right?
While the famous saying goes that a grand jury could indict a ham sandwich, it's become clear that they also give much more leeway to police officers, according to this article from the Huffington Post. What do you got?
He said that he felt he was being followed by police officers ever since he was filming the incident, and he was indicted because they claimed that he stuck a weapon in the waistband of another individual while they were both in a bad neighborhood. And so they assumed it was illegal, and that's how they indicted him, because they said that they saw that. So they arrested him for that when he literally had done nothing, so he says.
So did they ever have the gun? Did they get it?
That's...
They're just fucking making shit up?
Yeah, I mean, according to this, no.
Who shoves guns in other people's waistbands?
Well, maybe he was, like, trying to get rid of it, or
they
it wasn't his.
All right.
Or,
So they caught somebody else with a gun, maybe, and then just blamed it on him. They're like, hey, you need to say you got it from this fucking guy, and we'll let you off. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this says also,
Yikes.
days after that, he was... his wife was arrested.
Well, they're just doing their jobs.
That sounds crazy that he would do that. They would follow him like, oh, that guy filmed it. You know, that's like what mobsters do. Like, when it comes to like murder, you gotta do serious action against somebody who has evidence like that because they were afraid they murdered somebody, right?
Yep. That's textbook fucking mob action.
Because if I murdered somebody and like somebody was filming it, I'd probably follow that motherfucker too.
Yeah.
But you better, you know.
Oh yeah, of course. Try to get whatever you could get on him. Fucking keep him in check.
Yep.
I don't know, and I guess
Yeah, and if you're a cop, you could get something pretty quickly.
Yeah.
'Cause you could get anything and just put his name on it.
it seems like the most likely scenario. But maybe we should look more into that for next week. What do you guys think?
Yes.
What else? I don't know. What else do you think about the race war? What do you think is coming or no?
Yeah. I don't see it happening.
Do you think that the media's plan to create a race war will backfire and people who are interested in the police brutality stories will finally start to see the big picture once they start looking into it?
Yeah. Well,
Is there any chance it'll evolve?
I don't know.
but
Because
once-
from race?
a lot of the people that are drawn to this like whole racial discussion, they're just drawn to sensation. They're not really drawn to intellectual pursuit. You know, it's like or, intellectual goals, like trying to discover, what led me to be so anti-police is like a personal journey of discovery through, self-ownership and individual liberty is really what got me to hate police, So people who are just, rebelling against this race thing, they just want something to rebel against, and it'll be something else, and at another time. But it's not, they're not really getting at the heart of the matter and really trying to figure it out. It's just an easy fucking boogeyman.
You know what we should do for police and everything like that, like a razor wire fence. Why is that okay to hurt people? Because hey, if you try it, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So can we wear razor wire suits or something, you know what I mean? And be like, oh, dude, if you touch me, I'm not doing anything to you, but if you touch me, go ahead, give it a shot. You know what I mean?
I'm just picturing you just fucking walking at the tip.
Yeah.
Stay away from me. I got a razor wire.
Yep.
Yeah, try it.
Try to arrest me. Go ahead.
Covered in
See what
poisonous
happens.
snakes.
No, I have fucking big spikes too. Okay,
Yeah.
fucking come tackle me. You're gonna get stabbed. I'm not doing it to you.
Yeah,
but you
I'm
know
sorry.
how physical things work when your body interacts with them. So don't climb the fence or whatever.
They will shoot you in the throat
You think so?
with a bazooka.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they'll be afraid.
But
And,
afraid of what? They're not gonna get hurt if they don't. They should go shoot fucking fence.
That's not how
They
they
should shoot
operate.
razor wire fences with bazookas. Then,
That's not how they operate.
well, we got to
You're
do something
armed.
like that. We
You
got to
know
do
what?
something like
You
that
reached
though.
for your spike.
speaking of cops and razor wire, one time some cops made me climb over some razor wire because I was somewhere I shouldn't be, and they made me climb over the razor wire to get back over to their side instead of I wanted to walk 15 feet over to where there wasn't razor wire, and they said if I move they'll fucking blast my head off. I had guns
Oh,
out. And
God,
shit.
you have to then.
And they made me climb over the razor wire. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
That's
Sometimes
fucking
they're
crazy.
so fucking mean that it's funny, and then they beat the shit out of me for no reason. I got back over the don't worry, it's nothing like they do to a black man. It's not like I have any perspective on this being white, but the cops beat the shit out of me for no fucking reason.
No, right.
I get back over. I knew it was gonna happen, so I didn't. When I hit the ground on the other side of the fence, I didn't even stand for a second. I went right to my
Yeah.
stomach and put my hands behind my back.
Uh-huh.
What do they still do? Grab both of my arms,
All
twist them
crazy,
up,
right?
knee to my fucking neck. Other guy kneeing me in the fucking face. Another guy kneeing me in the back. Another guy twisting my leg. Just just because they're fucking sadists and they want to
Not
hurt
if you were
someone.
wearing razor wire suit. They
know.
wouldn't have touched you.
But I'm white, so that didn't happen.
Well, you see, the whole race thing, I feel like 15 years ago there was some validity, but nowadays they just hate they want everybody dead.
Right.
I mean, sure. They hate me. Every time I see them, they hate me. If I make eye contact with them, I'm getting arrested. I'm getting pulled over.
If you're not on your way to buy something or sell something, well,
buy something, sell something, or work. No, it's true.
other than this, whatever.
just not cigarettes, right?
Yeah. What do we got? It's 9:57. We have one other fucking thing about. There's another guy, I guess, in Phoenix now. See, now it's everyone that happens is gonna go mad on Twitter, and it's gonna get major coverage. What is this guy in Phoenix? What happened with him? Do you know? Brisbane. Brisbane was a man with a criminal record who may have been in the middle of a drug deal when a lone police officer confronted him. To friends, 34-year-old Brisbane was a gentle father of 4 who was dropping off fast food for his kids at his family's apartment. He was not armed, and the police officer fired 2 bullets, killing him in the presence of his girlfriend and a 15-month-old child.
Wait,
Whoa.
was he may or may not in the middle of a drug deal, or was he bringing food to his kids?
I don't know, dude.
Well,
I'm sure the cop.
is,
I'm sure the cop is saying that It's probably the cop
Yeah.
is saying the drug deal, and who cares if he was in the middle of a drug deal? It really doesn't
you
matter.
Don't just fucking murder somebody.
Yeah, well, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they do.
his lawyer is using that language. His lawyer is saying the police murdered my client.
Good.
Or the lawyer for his family, whatever.
Huh.
Yeah.
And his wife and his kids seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, that got to be horrible.
Oh my god.
Imagine that. Imagine your girlfriend
And
or boyfriend or your
we should
fucking
be
wife,
clear.
dude.
I'm totally recognizing that this happens way more in black neighborhoods than white neighborhoods. I'm just rejecting the idea that you have to be of a certain color to have a certain perspective or understanding on things, and that that it's not an issue for people of any other color. That's all I'm saying. Because I think about this, it does happen a fuckload in black neighborhoods. Like, we didn't fucking have to deal with that as much growing up. Not, I mean, I grew up in a nice town. Definitely was harassed constantly as a teenager by cops, and a few times roughed up and thrown around and shit. Arrested probably fucking 8 or 9 times before I was 18 or something. I don't even know. But, like, it wasn't like you have black friends that are like, oh, my cousin was killed and the kid down the street and they tied this guy to a pole and blew his head off, or, all these fucking stories you hear, about the cops in black neighborhoods. It is different. It's fucking bad. Yeah, it is bad. But they don't make shit. Cops don't make shit. Or like 30 grand, 35 grand a year. They go nuts working in those neighborhoods.
Yeah, right.
It's so fucking dangerous.
And you're working there and
nuts.
You do get shot at by gangbangers with pounds and pounds and pounds of fucking coke.
Right.
And then you're like, well, I better not shoot people first. I understand that. But,
dude, I totally understand why those cops become corrupt and they start working with the gangs and shit. It's safer. It's more lucrative. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd fucking do it too, but I'm not pretending I have some moral superiority and authority to fucking charge you with crimes,
If I was a cop, and I would fucking let people sell drugs in my neighborhood if they bought me McDonald's every day. Like, just buy me lunch every day and you're good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The smart thing would be to do whatever kept the peace.
Plus, give me some drugs whenever I want them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That used to happen to us constantly in high school, man. Cops would just take our weed. And not charge anybody. Just like, all right, everybody get out of here. We're taking this.
They would call your mom. That happened to me like 4 times, probably.
Where's the weed gonna go? Nowhere.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I literally, one time I had a cop, there were 2 of them, and they took all our weed, and one of them like held it up and looked at it, and the other one was like, is it any good? And he was like, nah, it's nothing special. Like, why do you...
Every time I've been arrested for weed, which is, I don't know, 5 or 6 times at this point, I think, every time I've been arrested for weed, there's been like some really dumb, like fucking Lenny from Of Mice of Men, cop who comes in like, oh, this is some real potent stuff. I haven't seen stuff like this in years. Something like, they always say some shit like that. This is some potent weed. Shut, they say that to everyone.
Potent.
No fucking clue what you're talking about. I got caught with weed in high school. And the fucking principal, dean, whatever, the guy that disciplines you, he like finds it. They searched us, and when we were coming back in school, reeking of weed and shit, and they search us, and he pulls the weed out of my pocket, puts it on the table, but then, like, as the process is going on and he's, like, calling the police to come get me and shit, he takes the weed and, like, holds it like it's an episode of Dragnet, and, like, holds it by the edge for some reason up to the light, and, like, examines it closely, like, in the light with this, like, real grim look on his face. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you think he imagined that he was real hardcore what he was doing right there, like, let me have a look at this drug up here, examine it real closely under the light bulb. I'm like, you fucking nerd. And now that I've
ever seen it 3 times before.
Now, and you don't have the social awareness when you're that young to just realize what that is. He's a fucking dweeb. And he's getting off voyeuristically on me doing drugs, and he's enjoying the moment. You know what I mean? That's what that was. Fucking dweeb.
I've got my weed stolen by cops too.
Oh yeah.
Makes me want to walk around with weed all day and fucking put like some sort of acid, like burning throat from inside out material on it.
Oh, good one.
I don't know. I don't know how to say that. You know what I mean?
Paranoid. Are you sure?
Yeah.
You did a pretty good job. No, so you're saying carry around some fucking poisonous ass weed.
Yeah, poisonous weed.
So if you get caught with it and the cops fucking sell it or smoke it,
they're dead.
Die.
They'll smoke it. They'll end up dead in their squad cars.
Give it to their nephew for a blowjob.
Right.
All right, we should take a quick break, I guess. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? All right, when we come back, please stick around. Thank you for checking us out. This is the Sunday Evening Overdose, December 7th, 2014 broadcast. We are going to do an entire hour on the most compelling mass UFO sightings throughout history when we come back. We're going to have a bunch of really cool shit for you. So stick around, back in about 5-6 minutes. Yes, we're back.